Okay, so ang bago natin na topic is regarding related rates. So, with related rates, kinanglan taguro sang gamay nga overview sang implicit differentiation, no? Okay, ang aton nga naagdan sa una looks like this. So, for example, ang yatag sa aton x, y equals 1. Muna, derive na siya. Paano siya derive? So, medyo uncomfortable kita kay siguro ang aton niya nga himuon is y equals 1 over x. And this would look like x raised to negative 1. So, kung mag-derive kita sini, this becomes dy over dx. Or, diba gagamit man kita, gagamit man kita y prime equals x raised to negative 1. So, ang derivative sina is negative x raised to negative 2 or negative 1 over x squared. Therefore, ang naangda nato niya is the equation looks like y equals a certain function with variables na puro tanan x. Or simply, may 2x may kundi. Plus 2 na lang. Example lang eh. Which means that we are deriving functions in terms of x. In terms of x. Amo na siya nga dy over dx. Subong sa aton nga bago nga topic with implicit differentiation, kinanglan na naton mag-derive pero damo na variables. For example, ining x cubed plus y squared equals x plus y plus 3, kung i-rearrange mo na siya, medyo mabudlayan kita. It is possible, but then there is a shorter method to do that. Kaya nga, may y squared kaya na d. Okay? Kag later on, may sakita ka example wherein tatlo ng variables x, y, z. But with related rates, from the word rates gani, we are going to derive our variables in terms of time. So, in terms of time, ang pag-derive natin later on. Before we use dy over dx because it is a function y in terms of x. But this time, we are going to derive variables in terms of time, dx over dt is makita kita dy over dt or dz over dt. Kag kung gusto mo shortcut na pagsulat, pwede mo na siya isulat as x prime, y prime, kag z prime. Okay? Hindi na siya budlay Naget. So, paano ni siya kuno si x cubed plus y squared equals x plus y plus 3 i-derive in terms of time? Derive mo lang din siya. X cubed, mo siya 3x squared, pero i-declare mo nga ina siya dx over dt. Okay, kung sino ang variable nga gin-derive mo, butangan mo din sa sugpon nga dx over dt, kaya si x ang gin-derive today. Plus, sa ini naman niya nga function nga term, y squared siya, no? So, 2y. Ang gin-derive nga variable is y, so dy over dt equals x. 1, ang gin-derive is x, so dx over dt, plus 1 dy over dt, plus, ang constant, 0 man na Japon yung derivative. Kung nire-write mo na siya, may mo siya 3x squared x prime, plus 2y y prime, equals x prime, plus y prime. Okay. So, ang matabo, no, ang inyo nga mga variables, dapat i-rearrange nyo man siya in alphabetical order. So, x, y, kag z. Whether mera siya prime or not. If amo ni ang imo pagsulat. Okay? Pero kung dx over dt, dy over dt, blah, 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 ang do ka fraction, labutang spunta, wala kaso. Okay? Uman yung pinakahapos. Sunod, medyo butangan tagamay nga challenge. So, I can see here nga do kinanglan natin magamit product rule, especially with this. Kay, yara, kita parenthesis. Do mo yung pinaka-obvious nga clue. So, U ni siya, ini siya V. Another one, y squared, z squared. So, y squared is a different function from z. Okay? So, pangbutan ko na dan markers na U kag V na siya. Kay ma-product rule kita karon. Okay. Product rule. U dv plus v du. If you can remember. So, U derive v. Ang derivative sa 1 minus y is negative 1. Sino ang gin-derive mo? X or y? Diba si y yung derive natin? So, dy over dt. So, butang ko din notes dalom. U dv. Plus, ang v is 1 minus y. derive you. So, si x, ang derivative sina is just 1. So, si x ang derive mo, diba? So, dx over dt ka din. And now you have v du. May cheek. Plus 5z cubed. So, this becomes 15z squared. Ang derive mga variables is z. So, dz over dt. Wala ka. So, okay lang na siya nga term. Equals y squared, z squared is another product rule. So, you derive v. So, 2z dz over dt. This is u dv. No? Plus, ang v na ton, kapiyon, talang z squared. Ang i-derive na ton is y squared. That's 2y dy over dt. So, note ko lang, plus v du na siya. Okay? Sunod, hapos na lang ni plus 2x. So, ang derive na variable is x. So, dx over dt. Minus 3 is constant. So, 0 na iya derivative. This looks terrible, but if you rewrite this, it will just look like, erase ko na. Negative x, y prime. Ini, negative x, y prime plus, ponahon, tani si x prime. Okay, di ba alphabetical order? 1 minus y plus 15z squared z prime equals 2y squared z madi-z ko liwat ha. Z prime. Na-note ko lang sa kundi nga, suma. Okay, goods lang. Plus 2y, y prime, z squared. Plus 2x, x prime. Di na pagsulat si 0. So, this is the implicit differentiation of this whole function, this baba. Okay. At don't worry, kay ang aton nga gamiton nga mga implicit differentiation in related rates look like this. It's just that may gamay nga analysis sa word problems. Okay? So, let's start with one example. Okay. So, maybe when you're searching the internet for examples, you might encounter this or some senior high school nyo siguro na-encounter nyo naman we have here a right triangle. So, right triangle. Drawing ko ha. Oops. Okay. Muni. Naog siya. Straight. Okay. Which is changing shape where the horizontal leg x, ang ipangalan ko siya, is increasing at a rate of 5 inches per minute. So, kung makita ka na gani rate, that is dx over dt. So, the change of x in terms of time or when time is changing. Wala. Diba delta x over delta t? Okay. If it's increasing, it's a positive 5 inches per minute. Meanwhile, ang vertical leg naton, so tawagon ko ni siya nga y, is decreasing at a rate. So, rate man sa Japan, so that's dy over dt equals 6 inches per minute, pero kay tungod decreasing, negative sa. At what rate is the hypotenuse changing? So, hypotenuse, kinanglan mong gali. When the horizontal leg is 12 inches and the vertical leg is 9 inches. So, anong ginapangita? At what rate? So, rate man ang ginapangita. Ang ginapangita is dh over dt. When the horizontal leg is x, was 12 inches and the vertical leg y is 9 inches. Alright, ito na given. So, what, bali, with regards sa optimization problems, ang inyong kinanglan dayon himuon was to get the optimization and the constraint equations. In this case, with related rates, list down all the given, kag i-make sure nyo nga ang ini siya it's dx over dt or dy over dt. So, i-read nyo again, kung rate gani, amo na siya may over dt na siya, ha? Okay. Now, what equations can we use? Ano matabo sini? So, ang ginapangita, hypotenuse. Dason, ang given sa atong right triangle. So, sa tanan-tanan ng mga equations na agyan yung bata kamo. So, sa inyo nga pag-eskwela, ang pinakasikat gid siguro Pythagorean theorem, no? So, nota de Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Pythagorean theorem can be defined as x squared plus y squared equals h squared, di ba? Okay. So, with this, pwede kita ka-implicit differentiation. May muli siya nga 2x, x prime. So, you know that this is dx over dt, pero ito shortcut na pagsulat ko. Plus 2y, y prime, equals 2h, h prime. Okay. May masulat kita sa x? Yes, 12. Sa x prime yan, may masulat kita? Yes, 5. 5 inches per minute. May masulat kita sa y? Yes, it's 9. Sa y prime, negative 6. Sa h, wala. Sa h prime, wala man, kaya siya nang ginapangita. So, you cannot solve this because you have one equation and two unknowns. Kinanglan nyo pagid makita ang isa ka value. Okay, I think mabalaan tagid kung sino si h kami x kag y makita mo. So, kung mabalik kita sa original nga equation sa Pythagorean theorem, 12 squared plus 9 squared should give you h squared, no? Ano na sa 12 squared is 1/4. Oops, manao ko na 144 plus 81 equals h squared. So, h is equal to, square root of 15. Ang unit naton inches. Ito na ha. Okay, sakto. So, 15. With that, guys, balikan tadi ang aton itong aging implicit differentiation. May x na ko. 12. May x prime ko. 5. Y, 9. Y prime, negative 6. May h ko, 15. So, sa tanan, ang h prime na napangitaon ko. So, pakaunta siya sa formula. Dili lang ko sa dalawa. 2. Ang x nato nga 12. Ang x prime nga 5 plus 2 times 9, negative 6 equals 2 times 15 times h prime. So, rearrange na ni tanan. Supposedly, h prime equals, diba? So, okay, so h prime is actually equal to 0.4 inch per minute. So, what happens is, ang aton nga horizontal nga side, galaba siya. Meanwhile, ang aton nga vertical side, galipot siya. So, nang aton nga hypotenuse, galaba man siya according with your horizontal. So, amo na siya natabo, magamay ni siya. Oh, gusto malaba-laba ang aton nga hypotenuse. Like that. Positive, increasing. Negative, decreasing. Sa given, bantayan niya gid na siya ha. Again, ang positive, increasing. Kung negative, decreasing. Okay? Sa next naman nga example. So, a thin sheet of ice is in the form of a circle. So, guys, siguro, may haragi kita karon sa mga circle. May circle ko din nga to. Let's see. Walay. Madrawing lang ko circle. Umana na. Uy, tanda. If the ice is melting in such a way that the area of the sheet is decreasing at a rate of 0.5 meters squared per second. So, may yara kita note decreasing kag rate. Area. So, area, change color. Area sa inyong circle is pi r squared. But you know that the area is decreasing at a rate. So, ang ginahatag sa aton sa problem is A prime equals negative 0.5 meters squared per second. Another given, at what rate is the radius decreasing when the area of the sheet is 12 meters squared? So, another given is simply the area at 12 meters squared. Ang ginapangita, the rate sang pag-decrease ka radius. So, ginapangita is R prime. Now, R prime ginapangita, then maybe you can go ahead and do the implicit differentiation. So A prime is equal to 2 pi R. Actually, pakita ko na lang. So A, ang iya nga derivative is 1, di ba? 1. And then A prime equals pi is a constant, so as is R squared is 2R and then R prime. So eventually you get A prime equals 2 pi R prime. Nan, okay. Check all the variables here. May inubutan kita sa A prime? Yes, we have negative 0.5. 2 pi, may inubutan kita sa R? Wala. May inubutan kita sa R prime? Wala man, kaya siya na ginapangita. Therefore, guys, you cannot solve this because you have two unknowns. Dapat isa lang ang unknown nyo. So, what can you do? Therefore, pwede nyo ni sa i-input si 12 sa original yung equation para makuha nyo si R nyo. Okay, 12 equals pi R squared. Kaya gusto ko makita kung anong R. R is the square root of 12 over pi. So, let's see. 12 over pi, square root sin. Okay, good. And then, butang sa calcio. Square root of 12 divided by pi is equal to 1.95. Ang unit natin is meters. Okay. 1.95 meters. So, naawkulan na gamay. Let's go back to the implicit differentiation equation natin. So, you have A prime equals to pi R. Ay, hindi na ako sa babamang check. Again, you have A prime, negative 0.5. You have 2, you have pi, you have R, which is 1.95. You have R prime, ginapangita natin. So, masuma na siya natin. A prime, negative 0.5 equals 2 pi. Ang R na suma natin ng 0.95. R prime. R prime is negative 0.5 divided by 2 pi times 1.95. Okay. So, it's negative 0.04 meters lang gid per second. Kaya radius lang siya. Okay. So, as it was predicted, the radius is decreasing along with your area. Gagamay siya, gagamay ang circle, gagamay mo ng area. Okay. So, wala na ni sense nga nag-drawing ko. Okay lang nga nag-drawing ko, wala kasa. Cute lang. So, I think those are two equations that I can show you, two problems that I can show you guys. So, the difference between related rates and related rates and optimization problems. Sa related rates nyo, tanang na given, pangitaon nyo. Tapos yung basahon nyo, gid kumiyara rates, bali prime na siya dayon. Prime gina siya dayon. Dason, ng kung decreasing, ma-negative, kung increasing, positive lang siya. Practice ka mo sa inyo nga implicit differentiation. And I think you have another example in your module that you can look at. Shadows naman to sa. So, self-study ka mo sa mo to nga problema. Okay?